It's time to get to one last point of business.
The old power poll.
The old power poll, where we rank the 12
old power
FBS
poll.
teams in the Lone Star State.
You'll never guess who's at the bottom.
I bet they will, honestly. I bet they will. So, number 12, the Rice Owls.
Boy.
And
There was one of your few chances.
they're going to stay there. They're
going to beat Prairie View, right? Right? Right?
Rice is just real bad, man. They're
Yeah.
just real bad. They actually, what's funny is that I think their defense maybe played their best game of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Their defense played their best game of the year.
It's close. Look, it's a close game.
But the offense just
Got nothing.
fart and fall down.
Got nothing.
Just terrible. Rice missed a game-winning field goal opportunity, that's what happens. That's when you know it's a truly bad team.
Right.
Is whenever you have an opportunity to get a win and you just
Can't.
and you miss a field goal.
Yeah,
it's
you
like
just can't do it.
I mean, Rice is just really. They were a play away from winning their first game of the year, and they just couldn't do it. And now you're absolutely positively running out of chances.
Right.
And
This is the moment. If you're a Rice fan or you're someone in that locker room, I am sure there's that mentality of, oh crap.
If it doesn't,
Like, it is.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to start watching us soon because we might not win a game.
If it doesn't happen this week against Prairie View, like, it's not happening.
Right.
Okay, and Prairie View's not bad.
No.
They're not bad.
They can score.
Number 11, the SMU Mustangs. They had the week off, so they stand pat at number 11. This week, who do they draw? They draw Houston, so enjoy that.
Yeah.
Number 10, the UTEP Miners, also the week off, mercifully.
Yeah.
So they take the week off.
Spared us all.
Everything's there. Number 9, Texas State.
This was tough.
So the thing about it, I watched a lot of this game, and they were I had fully come to grips with the loss.
Right.
Like in the third quarter, I was like, all right, they were down 40-21 in the fourth quarter. It's like, all right, well, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And they were down 40-21, and Louisiana Monroe had the ball,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, they're going to run it down, whatever. Then all of a sudden, fumble.
Yep.
Damali Alexi picks it up and returns it for a touchdown. You're like, okay, well, that's nice. They get a stop. They get the ball. Tyler Jones runs for a 16-yard touchdown. And all of a sudden, they're back in the game. And then they get another stop and force a punt. And all of a sudden, with like a minute and a half left,
Yeah. It's within range.
they have the ball.
Yeah.
Admittedly, deep in their own end, but
Yeah.
they have the ball with a chance to drive for the win.
Yeah.
And they just come up short.
Yeah.
I think if you're a Texas State fan, you have to be really proud of the effort. I think there's a lot of teams that would have just folded up shop and quit,
Right.
and they decidedly did not do that.
Yeah.
But the defense is it's a sieve right now. It's really not good. This is a team that just cannot stop the run, and they're just not very good defensively. They're undermanned defensively.
I think if there's one thing you can take away here, there's multiple things to take away. They're having a fine season. It's not great, but for a first-year head coach inheriting a kind of jumbled roster, I don't think you can be too upset. But one thing I do think you can take away, and Mike Craven wrote about this today in the 4-1 as well, their starting game's hot.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty clear that staff knows what it's doing. It has a plan going into every game. They have sized up their opponents. They know where the weaknesses are. They know where their strengths lie. It's when that plan is out the window, when you have to start figuring out where the game goes from there after that hot start, that they just can't keep up with the depth of some of these teams.
They've got a great game plan. It's just they don't have the horses in the stable.
Bodies. They just don't
to execute it.
And
so
I still feel like that's good.
That's a
good.
positive.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a positive. Number 8, North Texas. They took the week off. They stayed pat at number 8. Number 7, the UTSA Roadrunners. Nobody in the world is ever going to say that this was a brilliantly played offensive masterpiece.
Road win, baby.
A week after they looked so good offensively.
Sure.
A week after, they just were horrifying offensively. But defense, maybe much like Rice, maybe played their best game of the season.
Right.
They held down, Rice, who's coming out there and has nothing to lose at that point. So I think that there's a lot of positives you can draw from the defensive side. The offense is just going to be a week-by-week proposition.
Yeah.
It's like some weeks it's going to look great, and other weeks it's just going to look like there's no point in having the ball because they just can't move it. But defense stood tall, and a road conference win is a road conference win, and don't look now, But UTSA is in range to make a bowl.
Yeah.
They are not, they are not, it's by no means a guarantee. Look, they stand at 3-3 right now, so they need 3 more wins. They get UTEP. They're going to have a chance in that one. They're going to get North Texas. They're going to have a chance in that one. They get Charlotte at the end of the year. They're going to have a chance in that one. Middle Tennessee, Louisiana Tech, and A&M are all on the road, and you assume they're not going to win any of those. But there's 3 winnable games there, and they have a shot in Frank Wilson's first year, and what a remarkable story that would be. So UTSA comes in at number 7 in our power poll. Number 6, down 1 spot, is the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And I have been the chief apologist for Texas Tech, and I would like to amend it. I will no longer operate as an apologist for Texas Tech. I will continue to operate as an apologist for Pat Mahomes, because Pat Mahomes is a freak. I don't know if you saw that touchdown throw he had.
Yes.
On 3rd and 29,
Hail Mary.
he throws it from his own 45 and throws it 8 yards deep on a dime in the back of the end zone to a cutting receiver.
And yet again, clearly losing arm strength as the game goes on, and still times out his routes. Like, he's still hitting guys in stride. It's unbelievable.
Freak of nature.
Yeah. He's the best quarterback in the state.
Oh, my God, yes. But the defense just sucks. Yeah. The defense just sucks. And, this is what happens when you play a great defense. And West Virginia, by the way, you may have forgotten that they're in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, they might be the best team in the Big 12. They look really good. They look really good.
Really solid.
Now, Tech made them look good.
Right.
But they look really solid, especially
they
got a lot of playmakers defensively.
I think the important thing there is the West Virginia defense, right, against Tech's offense. I mean, granted, some issues. Mahomes' arm is struggling, but it's still.
But they went into Lubbock.
Yes.
And shut him down, basically.
No big deal.
Really remarkable stuff for West Virginia, but bad news for Tech. And now you take a look at Tech's schedule. Let's take a look at this.
It ain't getting easier.
So they're 3-3 as well, right?
Right.
Their remaining games are Oklahoma, TCU, Texas, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, and Baylor. There's really only one game that you would say, okay.
How dare you? How?
I'm speaking, of course, about Oklahoma.
It's on the road.
They go to
two
Ames.
Mind you.
So you know what? They're going to have to steal a couple to get to a bowl game.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, it's this was a game that you, at the beginning of the year, you pegged as a win.
Yep.
And now, between that and the Kansas State one, you at least wanted to split it. And now you've lost both of them, and it's problematic. So Tech comes in at number 6. Number 5, Texas. Well, let me rephrase. First half Texas is number 14 on this list.
Oh, it was going so well.
What?
6-3.
What the hell was that in the first half?
That was cyclone magic.
Now they woke up. Texas woke up in the second half,
and
they
just pounded
they pummeled them.
They beat the hell out of them.
And if you want to get really excited about a resurgent Texas defense, this is what can do it for you.
It's a performance everyone wanted.
This is an improving Iowa State offense, and they shut him down. It was I think by far, by leaps and bounds, their best defensive effort of the year. The offense was fine, it was okay. But, they got the win. They got a home win against a team you're supposed to beat in Iowa State. It wasn't pretty. The defense did its part. The offense just wasn't good. So, they were able to rally from their, from a 6-3 halftime deficit and win. And now it's on to Kansas State, where they haven't won since 2002. So
no big deal.
But Texas comes in at number 5. Number 4, TCU. Took the week off.
Yeah, thank you.
Now they
can't infuriate us for a week.
And now they have to go to Morgantown.
Ooh boy!
So hip hip hooray for that. So watch out. If Texas can win, they'll have a shot to continue moving up the charts here. Number 3, down 1 spot, is the Houston Cougars. This is such a good team. This is such a good team that farts around.
Yeah.
And they almost did it again.
Yeah.
They almost did it again. Houston has now played in 3 of their last 4 games. They have played poorly enough to lose.
Yeah.
They played poorly enough to lose at Cincinnati. They played poorly enough to lose against Navy, and they played poorly enough to lose to Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
And they are super duper duper lucky. I'll say it, lucky to not be 4-3. Okay, I understand that they looked great in the fourth quarter against Cincinnati, and I understand that they have won the game of degrees. That when the at the high leverage moments they come up with the play.
Yeah,
I get that, but any sort of illusion that we had that this was a team that should be in the college football playoff is now gone. Yeah. Like I was under the impression I was willing to give them a mulligan for Navy. I was willing to give them a mulligan and start banging the drum and saying, you know what, this is the best one-loss team in the nation.
Yeah.
You know? Not anymore. This team just cannot. First of all, they gave up 99 out of 100 third downs.
Yeah.
I mean, the third down, Tulsa just manhandled them. And they came within literally an inch of giving up the game-tying score after. Now, admittedly, it's a great defensive play.
Yeah.
They have a strip sack and take it back for a go-ahead touchdown in that fourth quarter, in the final minute. But Tulsa has the ball at Houston driving for the win.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. And I don't know if this is just a Tom Herman thing or what it is, but this team plays with their food. They play with their food. They are clearly better than Cincinnati. Yeah. They are clearly better than Navy. They are clearly better than Tulsa. And yet, they gave each one of those teams a chance to beat them. And that's frustrating as somebody who wants to see this team just manhandle people.
Right.
To play to their paper. I don't know. They're down a spot. But they won. So, there's that.
Maybe they'll be higher or lower at this point next week based on whether they're about to join the Big 12.
Maybe. We'll have full coverage of that tomorrow.
It'd still be like the second best team in the Big 12 right now.
Number 2, up one spot, Baylor. We talked about it earlier in the show. That's what I want to see.
Right. You are better than this team.
You are better than this team, and you just come out and thump them. Yeah. And that's exactly what they did. And Kansas is a better team.
Yeah.
They're a better team. We've mentioned it on the show.
Yeah, they're improved.
They're not a good team, but they're an improved team. And Baylor came out and just did not let them breathe. Mm-hmm. So I was very impressed with them. The defense looked good. Admittedly, it's Kansas, and I understand everything comes with that asterisk, right? Everything comes with the asterisk of it's Kansas. Yeah. But great win. And you mentioned it earlier. Are they 6-0 or 7-0?
6, I think.
They are. At this point, I don't know. They are 6-0. Yeah. They're 6-0, and you know what? They should be.
Right.
They should be 6-0.
This is how their schedule plays out every year. It feels like they're always 6, 7, 8-0, and then they go.
They basically have one win that you go, okay, that's pretty good, and that's the win over Oklahoma State, right? They should be 6-0. They are 6-0. They're playing like they should. Now they get a bye week before the grind.
Yeah. And
it's Texas, it's TCU, it's Oklahoma, it's Kansas State, it's Texas Tech, and it's suddenly at West Virginia to end the year.
Yeah.
So, look, great win. That's called taking care of business. Baylor took care of business.
Yep.
And number 1 for the second consecutive week, Texas A&M Aggies. They get the week off, but all of a sudden, it's all eyes to Tuscaloosa.
Here we go, baby.
Alabama is opened as a 17-point favorite at home.
Yep.
To be expected, I think.
No surprise.
We'll have a lot of breakdown about this game later this week. I don't know how much of the Alabama-Tennessee game you watched.
Enough.
Alabama's a godless killing machine.
Yep. They're very good.
But A&M will have 2 weeks to prepare.
Yep.
And they've got a quarterback who's beaten Alabama, and they've got a coach who's beaten Alabama. They're not going in scared.
Nope.
They're not
going
in
every
scared.
reason to feel like they got a shot in this.
They
everything has worked in their favor. There
Absolutely.
are no excuses.
And you know what? You win this game.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
You are the SEC favorite.
Yep.
And I'll mention this. You lose this game, you still got a shot at the college football playoff.
Right.
Because if
it's a close loss.
If you're an 11 assuming then Alabama runs the table and they go to the SEC championship game, which you would need a lot of things to go wrong if you lose this game.
Yep.
But an 11-1 A&M team.
Yep.
The way
the way they're shaping out,
they're going to have a great shot at it.
Yep.
Now, they may have to play Alabama again, but they'll have a great shot at it.
Yeah, but
you get there. That's all you want. That's all you want is a shot. So that's the college football power poll. Number 12, Rice. Number 11, SMU. Number 10, UTEP. Number 9, Texas State. Number 8, North Texas. Number 7, UTSA. Number 6, Texas Tech. Number 5, Texas. Number 4, TCU. Number 3, Houston. Number 2, Baylor. And number 1, Texas A&M.